set my tripod down here. You'll be able to see real quick. This is the Gerber I did, and it's full tactical black, and you can see really easy on here when it's clipped in. It's like a, you know, stark contrast, so you can really see that. I mean, you think you won't, but you can really see that when I'm walking around, which is not a huge deal. I mean, nobody cares if I'm carrying a small pocket knife, but I was trying to tinker around with some ideas, and now I'll put this one in. This is my, you know, everyday carry knife that I use, and see if it was worth it here. It's the first time I've seen it in the pants. Cool. That worked pretty good. See, you can barely see that. Just looks like another wrinkle in the pants, kind of. That clip you can see, and that this clip was this tactical black earlier, so I just did it. That's Tactical Coyote Brown. So golly, that matches perfect. You can barely see that. Not that I'm trying to hide it. Ooh, I just wanted to see, you know, how well you could disguise the knife in there if you wanted to. Now, if I have that up, of course you can see the top. So, but I always carry it in this pocket, or you know, even if I wanted to carry it in my pants, my back pocket, it's got a flap too. So, and this is a EDC. You know, I'm carrying this every day, so it's not like I'm like, whoo, you know, I've really got to pull this thing out real fast. But so I'm not worried about it, you know, extracting it super fast or anything. Even though I can get to this pretty quick when I've got the pants on. Anyway, that's not bad, but you can see the difference. And I just did the clip. I didn't have to do the whole knife. Turned out pretty cool. So anyway, that's another project. Advice that I can give you on the flashlight is be real careful with your degreaser. Don't let it get up in your switch and all your parts and things in there. And try this stuff on like inexpensive items first. If you're going to do a knife, you want to do a knife, do a crappy knife you don't care about first to practice. Same thing with a gun. Do a crappy gun. Flashlight, I did, you know, a couple of flashlights before I got to this one. This is, I think, about a $24 to $30 flashlight, and I didn't want to screw it up. So, you know, I learned a lesson. I didn't go spraying degreaser down in it. I learned a little bit first, and that's what you need to do on this stuff. And I'm trying to give you as many tips and things and ideas and show you the places where I've messed up on this stuff, so you don't. But you still need to try it, because there may be some things that you mess up that I didn't, or whatever. So maybe there's some things you learned that you can tell me. Who knows? Anyway, turned out pretty cool. Coyote Brown. Throwing knife. I'll annotate the model of this. And I believe this main knife I'm carrying is a Kershaw Skyline. I hope I'm getting that name right. I'll annotate if I am or not. By the way, the only reason I went and got this knife was Nothing Fancy. I'll annotate his name. That's his name on YouTube. If you hadn't seen him, if you're watching my videos and you really want to know some more about this, go see his channel. He's really the one that kind of got me doing this. So he's got a lot of stuff, and he did I believe he did a review of this knife, I think, or maybe he just mentioned it. I can't remember. But anyway, he's the reason I went and checked this knife out, and it is like my everyday carry now. I know I'm blabbering on about the knife, but awesome knife. Weighs hardly anything. G10 handle. The blade is big and long for the the size knife it actually is in your pocket. You can open it with your thumb. I usually open it like that. It's light, easy to sharpen, holes and edge. It's got a little something on the end there when you're holding it like this. Awesome knife. One more thing I wanted to show you on this Mag-lite flashlight was anytime you're doing flashlights, and this is the second flashlight this has happened to, when you have a button, like a rubber button switch, that like on the ends of some of them you don't have to coat them, but when they're like this, when they're in the main part of the flashlight, it's kind of hard to cover that up with painter's tape and make it look right. So what I've been doing is I just cover them up, and they kind of fleck away this camera's not going to be able to pick it up. But like I said, it's not a big deal. I just wanted to show you what it does. The switch works fine, but it'll kind of fleck away. And when it does, it'll just be black. So it's not a big deal, but I just wanted you to see it. I wish my camera could pick it up better, but you can probably pick up and see in there enough that it's kind of chipping and cracking away. But that's just on the rubber switch there. So anyway, that's it. Still looks good. Oh, by the way, side note, I said I think I told you earlier that I had busted the glass out of this Mag-lite, and I had gotten some chemical of some kind on it that had messed up the reflector in here. Well, I call Mag-lite today, and they're actually sending me the plastic lens, clear lens piece, and the reflector, no charge. And this flashlight's not under warranty, and it's far outside their responsibility, because I broke that and messed this up with whatever chemical I got on it. So I'm kind of giving them a good report. That was pretty nice. They didn't have to do that, but sending that to me. So anyway, thanks. Another thing that I wanted to mention about all the flashlights, anytime you're Duracoating a flashlight, and I've run into this, I think, on every one that I've done so far, and I haven't mentioned it in any other video. I don't know if the camera's going to be able to pick it up, but when you break these things down into different parts when you're doing a flashlight, be real careful, because a lot of times, like the metal in here, the threading, and sometimes, like for instance on this one, I got the Duracoat just over the lip where my thumb is, just over the lip right here, and it had a coating of Duracoat, and it wasn't allowing that right there where my thumb is to contact the rim of the light right here. And I didn't have this all the way off. I cranked it down into the light. I'm not going to be able to do this with one hand. Hold on a second. I had this in here like this, and I backed it off just a little bit. I don't know, I've got it so tight now, I don't even know. There you go. I backed it off just a little bit to where, like, if I had this tight all the way and I Duracoated it, it would seal this up, and I would have to, like, kind of break it loose. So what I did was I on all the parts, like right here, and right here, I backed all this off just a little bit, just to leave a crack there, so it would continue to be kind of in two parts. I didn't want it to have a layer of Duracoat over that and then me have to break it loose and the paint job looked bad. So in doing that though, I exposed where these two pieces meet, and I had a little bit of trouble on probably every flashlight I've done. I had to go in and take a little wire brush and scrape, or I think I may have used a razor blade on this one. Hang on just a second. I'm sorry about the camera. I'm having to do this with one hand. I took a razor blade, I believe, and I scratched the surface right there where my thumb is. You can kind of see it's a little shiny right there. I scratched the surface right there so it would make contact, because before I did that, my switch wouldn't kind of turn on and off all the way. So anyway, that's another thing. You know, like I said, the biggest two things I have come up with on Duracoating flashlights so far is don't get your degreaser in the components, and be careful not to get it also on your lens, especially if it's not a glass lens. And the other thing is, watch if your flashlight's not working. Try to look and see how if you got Duracoat on some places, like with this, that it needs to make contact, not on this spring part here, but like around the edge. Apparently that's required for it to work. So it's just how the flashlight's built. It's got to conduct that current through there. So anyway, it's just another lesson there.